Hello, everyone, and thank you for inviting me onto your webinar this evening. I don't know if I've met anybody on the call, but although I don't sound Scottish, I actually live in Scotland. I'm up on the Moray coast. I used to do the same job as Pam. My background's education. I used to work for the Highland Council, where I looked after digital learning and teaching. And then, I kind of jumped into industry and went to work for Google for a couple of years and was responsible for helping to set up Google for Education in Glow and Chromebooks and all that kind of stuff. And then, came to work for Thinglink. So I'm very much rooted in Scottish education, where I've been for the last couple of decades. This is your time. And honestly, I'm really happy and open. If you want to ask anything, you want to say, Louise, show us that again, or just dive in, put your hand up. I know Ross will keep me right. So we've got about 50 minutes or so, and I'm really happy to take questions at the end. I'm going to share my deck with you so that you can click on the slides, and I've put some examples in there, and I'm really happy if you want to make a copy of the slides and, make it your own. That's really great too. So some of you might be using Thinglink already. Some of you might be completely new to it. So I'm not going to make any assumptions at all. But Thinglink is genuinely the nicest EdTech tool there is. It plays nicely with everybody. It plays nicely with Google. It plays nicely with Microsoft. And you'll see that it's really focused as an EdTech tool. It's been around 10 years. So it's got a really sustainable model. It's not one of these things that pops up and then goes boom and bust and disappears. And it's certainly not something that's just popped up and frill and fluff either. It's genuinely designed to be an education technology tool. So I will just pop along with my slides. So Thinglink is used across the globe, and it's actually a Finnish company by origin, but we've got about 350 million learners using it each year. And the idea is that it can make the real world accessible. And that means that you can take an image or a 360 image or a video, and that might be stuff that you create. And I'm going to show you where you can obtain content as well. And then you can add in clickable hotspots and add in further multimedia to make it completely accessible. Personally, I was really drawn to Thinglink. I was really lucky because I contacted them and they gave me some work. And then that led to the position that I've got now. I'm Director of Education with them. And what struck me, and it's really lovely, in Pam's school, if you've ever been in there, there's this wonderful values board. And it's just amazing. It's got all the kids' kind of mind map, and it's like there's sketch notes. And I was like, wouldn't it be great if you could hear the children's voices behind it? And, Education Scotland are great at putting out inspections with these sketch notes. And I look at them and I think that just looks like a jumbled mess to me. Wouldn't it be great if you could hear voices and embed, little videos? And that's what drew me to Thinglink. And it all went on from there, really. So it means that you can take that content and add in different hotspots that make it accessible and make it more engaging for young people as well. So it's used for things like school, classroom, virtual trips. So it is the original tour creator. You might have seen Google's tour creator or Google Expeditions. You can do that with Thinglink as well. It was around before them, I would like to say. You can create weekly topic choice boards and then push those out to learners with all of the content and assignments in one place. But for me, it was about contextually and culturally relevant content as well. And I'll show you what that looks like. And of course, it's accessible anywhere and anytime. There's a little video there to show you when you click on the slides. So what I found as well is that when schools start using Thinglink, they find that they give it to teachers and they say, wow, you could do this with it and you could do that with it. So I'm just going to click on this one here and show you that this is a Thinglink that a teacher created in a school in London to show other teachers the good places to come and live if they were coming to work at the school, might be coming from abroad. And all they've done is they've just taken this tube map and they've put in these lovely tags, and you can change the colors and the backgrounds. But they get lots of teachers that maybe don't have English as a first language, and you've got immersive reader built into automatically into your text tags. So you've got text to speech.
Oxford is not an awful option.
Built into all your tags with any text you put in. And of course, then you can translate it into over 80 different languages. And you've got text to speech there as well. And I'm sure that you're familiar with Immersive Reader, but you've got all of the functions of Immersive Reader. So you could change the backgrounds, for example. You've got picture dictionaries. I'll pick one that's got, put it back to the original. So awful, has that got picture? Oh no, that's just put that original there. I'll go back, but you can get my drift. Lots of really great options with it. So I just thought this is a really, really nice way where they've added in images and text. So you can put tags in and you can click on the image and it'll make it big. But not only can you add in text and images, that you can add in little links. So you can put your links in there as well. So that's just one little example for you. But I just wanted to show you some of the other ones that I've been curating, which I just think are super. And if you haven't seen Pam's example, I think I've got it here as well. But this one, for example, is one of those bit emoji classrooms. You've probably seen heaps of these flying around over the last year. And this teacher, Amanda Pickard, she's in East Ayrshire. She has put in the text and media tags, but instead of pictures, she's put video in, and she didn't want to keep explaining to her little ones about what the task is. So she recorded her dog, and this is her dog, and he's just brilliant.
Hi, everyone, brilliant. Travis here. My mum says you're all brilliant at reading and writing sentences. So that's what she wants you to focus on this week. Reading and writing sentences.
That just makes me giggle and beam from ear to ear every time I hear it. Now you'll notice on this video tag that I've got a play button, I've got a volume button, and I can make it big if I wanted to, and I can watch it picture in picture. So imagine already you've got the text. If that had that text on that side, would open up into Immersive Reader. So you've got text to speech and translation. But with that video, you've already, yes, you are seeing a talking dog, Julie. She did it with My Talking Pet app. And she's done that on a phone. So she just recorded her phone and then uploaded it to the tag. So imagine if you've got learners who have got accessibility requirements, and you, or not, you know, let's face it, we don't know whether people have got a record of need, and we don't know, we can't assume that people haven't. And you all know that there'll be people in your class that probably should have a record of need, and they're being prevented from getting that assessment, or even parents that, you know, just don't know what their requirements are either. So if you think about that instruction, there's a video which actually the kids love, and it's telling them about the instructions. You could have audio rather than video if you wanted. You can have pictures and text, and you've got Immersive Reader in one tag, and you can also put that call to action button in. So that's just a little overview of some nice examples that, and this is again from a Scottish educator as well, which I just think is lovely. But I've given you examples with images, but you can also add in 360 images. And kind of taking this one stage further, I'm doing some work with a well-known beauty brand, and Thinglink is used in education, but it's also used for e-learning. So imagine if you want to enable teachers to understand what a classroom might look like they've never been into for teacher training, or imagine health and safety workers, health and safety training for workers on an oil rig or anywhere. You could actually create a 360 of the environment, which I've done here, and then you can add in hotspots to these as well. And that's just, poor old Debenhams has closed now, hasn't it? So what I did with this one is that I've created a base image, I've got a hotspot there just to show them how that works. And then I've got another tag, and instead of having text and media, I can link my Thinglinks together, and that's taken me to another Thinglink, which has got an image. And then I can click the tour tag again, and then that takes me to 360. So you've got a tag that links all your Thinglinks together. And if you look carefully, there's a mystery shopper there. And what this training is about understanding customer interaction. And actually, that's about observation skills as well. So imagine you could create breakout rooms with this, digital breakouts, all based on, finding wee clues and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to go back to my presentation. Any questions, just shout. So a couple of examples there. This is a teacher from Texas. What she's done is she's created this choice board, and all of the options here are week 2 work for kids who are unable to attend school due to lockdown. And she's actually put those icons as links out to work. And she's put differentiated icons in there as well. So if you see the red and blue pens, the blue is for easier work, the red is for harder work. There's a check in there. You can embed forms, you can embed Google Forms, you can embed videos, you can embed all those kinds of things as well. My point being that if you want EdTech to work, it isn't just about something you create for one purpose. And that is what Thinglink is that it's got so many uses that you find it helps to kind of create this culture of innovation in the school. This is some work I'm doing with NHS. They created this Thinglink, which is a 360. Let me just go back to here we go. This one is where they didn't have enough content with diversity or with masks. So they wanted the training materials to be culturally relevant. So this is training for the health service at the University of Central Lancashire, and they're teaching paramedics to understand how to engage with frail patients. Here you've got a Black and minority ethnic elderly patient. They found a lot of the materials didn't feature Black and minority ethnic people, which is why they wanted to address that inconsistency and inequity. And then on this 360, you can see even there's a microphone on the telephone. And
Hi, am I through to Dr. Patel? Yes, this is Dr. Patel.
And when you click on the phone, there's a transcript of the phone that the paramedic would make to the GP. You can even click for a transcript of that recording. And there's other clues, like there's an empty biscuit tin. Why is there an empty biscuit tin? Because she's diabetic and she's eating all the biscuits. Here you've got the medication. And this is a way of using, quite clever tools. Here you've got Word documents embedded to engage people for learning no matter where they are, on any device, with much more engaging content. And people are going to relate to this because it's relevant for today. They're wearing masks. It's relevant because it's culturally relevant, and it's also in context. So yeah, just thought you would like that.
Louise, sorry to interrupt. How did you create the 3D image in the first place? Is that something Thinglink does for you, or do you have to create that elsewhere?
I'm going to show you exactly. I've got a slide there.
I thought you might, but thanks very much. Cheers.
Okay. Right. So going back to my images, my presentation. So Thinglink works on any device and any browser. So I'm on a Chromebook today because I love my Chromebooks, as you can imagine. But it works on PC and Mac. It'll work on iOS, and it also works on mobile phones. And you can see the VR icon, and of course it will work with if you're using Google Cardboard. So what you could do is put the link of the Thinglink into Google Classroom. Pupils could click on it and it will go into VR mode, and then you could put it in the headset. So you've got a way now of creating your own expeditions for immersive experiences as well. I am going to be brutally honest with you that we have an iPad app of Thinglink, and it's really bad. Just don't even bother with it. But the reason I say that confidently and don't get sacked is that you can access Thinglink on the browser of your iPad, and it's fantastic. So if you've got an iPad, go to thinglink.com on your browser, and it gives you the option to take a picture and upload it straight into your Thinglink. So that's all there as well. Record audio, record your video directly into it. So when you create your Thinglink, I'm just going to show you that if I back in my Thinglink, actually, I'm going to go on this one, share this tab instead. Here we go. So I'm in my account page and I click create, and it gives me the option to upload an image, to upload a video, upload a 360 image, or upload a 360 video. So that might be media that I've got on my computer that I want to upload to create my Thinglink. And of course, if it's on your iPad, you would access Thinglink in the browser, upload your content. So just for the sake of mucking around, I'm going to upload a 360 image, and I would look on my computer and I can see there that I have this 360 of the Grand Canyon. Now I have got that because I have gone to like a 360 website that you can download images from, but I'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. And if I click open, you can see that's uploading to my account, and there it is. That's a 360 image of the Grand Canyon I just had on my desktop, and I am now ready to start adding tags. That's as easy as it gets. So that base media, when you saw me hit the create button, what can you upload? So you can upload an image, and that might be a JPEG, PNG, or a GIF file. So like a photo or something you created. You can upload a 360-degree image. You can upload a video and put hotspots in a video, and that's a video of up to 10 gigabytes. So you never need to have to use YouTube again. You can just upload your video into Thinglink, which means you've got no adverts. You're not sending kids off down a rabbit warren on YouTube, which happens all the time. And we lifted that to 10 gigabyte as our COVID offering. And you can also upload a 360-degree video if you so wish. I'm not sure if any of you are using 360 video, but you can do if you want to. So you upload those to Thinglink, and then you would start tagging, as I just showed you. So when it comes to media, I'm just going to show you there that you've got these options of like the images and photos, things that you might create, videos of up to 10 gigabytes. There's one from Paul at Stirling High School that's done a video introduction to the tour of his school. There's a teacher here that's uploaded a video, and she's just pointing to things in the video, and then she's put the hotspots afterwards. So it looks a bit Harry Potter. And then 360 images, classroom orientation with accessible hotspots for pupils who are maybe going to a new classroom. And 360 video, this is a health and safety video of a college where you can walk around the college and click on the fire hydrants, and it's got information about, you know, the type of extinguishers, etc. But I'm just going to look at images because that's probably where you'd start. So images that you upload, it could be a photo that you've taken or a photo from, you know, a particular website that you've downloaded, bearing in mind copyright. But also don't forget, you could use diagrams, and quite often I'll make a diagram on a Google slide or a PowerPoint and then just download that as an image and then put the hotspots in with the additional detail. You might have a graphic like a world map or something like that. You could even create infographics on something like Canva. I'm a massive Canva fan. So super easy. Just download that as an image and you've got an infographic that you could add in more information to. CVs, I've seen the most amazing interactive resumes that are being created. And what better way for young people to demonstrate their skills to an employer than to have them, you know, share a video of something that they love, or themselves presenting, or themselves speaking French, or maybe images of a project or a slide deck of something that they love, it's going to be much more attractive and help them to visualize their skill sets. Screenshots. I take screenshots all the time and then upload that screenshot to Thinglink and then use it to add the hotspots in of what the various points are. If you go onto the Education Scotland website for Glow, all of their videos about Teams and Google Classroom are all done in Thinglink. eScholar using it for the early learning levels. So we're used by most local authorities now in Scotland. So creating those base media files, I mentioned a few places there. Pixabay, you can get amazing images from free. Google search, just check the copyright. Canva, you can create amazing posters and then use those as your background. Bing search, and I mentioned PowerPoint, Google Slides and Shutterstock. Here's some information on those file formats as well, just in case anybody asks. You can even use GIF files. If you've got a GIF, you could use that as a background. I've got a nice beating heart GIF. And for 360 images, now you can use a 360 camera, and these aren't too expensive. You can get them, you know, if the school has enough funds or the district, local authorities got funds to buy a camera. But what you can also do, I don't know if the Pixabay has been okayed by the council, but it's a free website. I mean, you could go on it and download it. I don't think it needs to, if it's blocked by the council, then I'm not the one to answer that. But on your phone, you could use the Google Street View app, and you can take 360 with your phone as well. So in answer to Ross's question, you can use a camera to take 360. You can use your phone to create 360 content, or you can get 360 content from some of those like Shutterstock, 360 Cities. But in Thinglink, we have our own gallery that you can use. So I'm just going to go back and cancel that. Done. Go back to Thinglink, and if you go to your welcome page, you can see there's a 360 image library, and there's lots and lots of 360 images that you can use. If you go to the explore function, there's searchable content that's been donated by teachers all over the world. And if you see any of our 360 images, we've got all of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. So say, for example, you wanted to, let's find one. Oh, I love that one. Ha Long Bay in Vietnam. I would just go add to my media, and that clone would be in my account page. The same with any of these. There's lots and lots of examples of ones you could use. These have been donated. I can't quality assure them all, but good for ideas, definitely. So yeah, we've got our own 360 library, which you can access. You can take your own, and you can also use your phone, if that's helpful. So when you upload those 360 images, there's just a few file specs for you. It's quite big. And as I mentioned, we've got a 360 library. For inspiration, lots of museums are using us now and creating 360 tours. This is Stirling High School, and the pupils there created a 360 tour of the school with those custom icons, because you can create your own icons. And what they've done is they've shown the ways to walk around the school in response to the new restrictions. So pupils have to walk a certain way around and they can't go. So they've put these little no entry icons as to where pupils can and can't go. So just to have a summary of the tags that you can add. So you can add, sorry, I've got my hot water bottle. You can add a text and media tag, and that can be any combination of text and media. So that's text and an image or a video, or text and just audio. And if you hit the record button, you can record it straight in, and we'll do a little demo. You can add plain text labels. So that's just a plain label. you can embed other apps and tools. So if you're using a Google form, you could just get the embed code from the Google form and click on the add content from website, tag and paste it in, and that Google form would be in Thinglink and work perfectly. And we'll have a look at that. And you can link and create tours together using the tour tag, which I use to go into Debenhams, for example. I mentioned Immersive Reader. So the kinds of things that you can integrate. So I mentioned you can embed things. You could embed Flipgrid, Sway, Wakelet, Padlet, Scratch animations, Google Maps, and all of these will be completely interactive in the tags. We integrate with Google Classroom. So in my Thinglink, if I go back to it, let's go back to one of mine. If I just go back to my media, say I really love this. Oh, I've been doing this work. You'll like this. So I've been doing this work on what Skills 4.0 are for a manufacturing industry project. And here's something I've created with Canva. And each of these hotspots is a link to a Wakelet with resources of videos, various things for each of those skills. Now, imagine I wanted to share this Thinglink. If I hit the share button, you can see I've got options.
Louise, sorry to interrupt again. I think your slide might be stuck on your strategic partners. Sorry, just in case. There you go.
Yeah, you're spot on. I was ahead of myself. So here's my Thinglink that I created, which I've used Canva for, which is all about the 12 meta skills. And these are the ones that are in the STS paper, Skills 4.0, which is probably the best paper I've seen about skills of the future, meta skills. So here's the 12 skills, and you can see that when I click on them, I've embedded a Wakelet with loads of resources. So I just embedded that straight in. Now, say I wanted to share this in my Google Classroom. So I can hit the share button, and you can see that I get an embed code. So I can embed that into a website if I wanted to, like a Google site. Google Sites and Thinglink are really, really good friends. I can just share it with a link. So I could put that in my Google Classroom if I wanted to, or a Teams page if I wanted to. I can publish to social, and you can see here that I've got a Teams icon, I've got a Google Classroom icon. If I hit the Google Classroom icon, you should be able to see that. I can choose my class. So I want to send that to Social Sciences Year 9. I'm making this up. I can choose the action to make that into, I'll create an announcement with it, hit go, and then of course it pops up with exactly, what you'd see in Google Classroom as well. So that's going to all my students, and of course you can share it across all your classes there as well. So I just come out of that one. There we go. So I'm going to have to share my screen again because it's come right out of it. Let me just share that again. Share tab and Thinglink. There we go. So in answer to your question about Teams, now I don't know how Glow is configured for you guys, but you can also use this button to share it to Teams. And that will bring you a pop-up where you'd log into your Teams account. Alternatively, you could just post that link directly in the Teams page as well. So I hope that answers that. So in my Thinglink, you can see that this is one that I've published. If I want to go back and edit it, I can just click on the pen, and that puts it back into the tag editor like you saw when I uploaded the 360 of the Grand Canyon. And I can add those tags in that I mentioned, text and media, add text label, content from a website, and create the tour. Cancel that. And then I also get settings where I can choose my color scheme if I want for my tags. That's for the tags. I can disable the animation, but I quite like these pulsing tags so that they attract the attention. I can upload audio, so there's music that plays throughout the whole thing. But actually what I can also do is I can, this is with that text and media tag, is that I can actually record my voice or audio directly into the tag as well. So, you don't need to go off somewhere else and record it anywhere else. So I'm going to click done, and there we have it. You also get analytics, so I can see the statistics. Now, I created this probably at Christmas or so. No, I didn't. I changed it a couple of weeks ago, I think. But here you go. You can see it's had 424 views. It's been embedded 5 times. I put this out publicly on Twitter, and then you can see that which tags have been opened and how long people have spent on it, which I think is quite helpful as well. So yeah, they're the things that you can embed using that embed tag.
Louise, a wee question about that. Someone's asking, if students are following the link, do they need to have access to an account to access it?
No. So if you wanted to share internally and it wasn't stuff you wanted to be public, then it's really easy. They don't need an account because that's public with the view. So if I go back into this one, let me just go back into that Thinglink here. So I've got these settings, which is the privacy settings. So I can set it to my organization. So if you have a district account or a school account, that would just be for people who are in your party or your tenancy or your organization. If it's public, anyone can find an access. So you could do that, or you could have it unlisted that anyone who has the link can access. No sign-in is required. And that's the one that I would use to share with my students so that it's not public, but you have to have that link. It's like sharing a Google Doc, isn't it? And they have to have the link to access. And then, of course, you can have it so it's private just to you as well. When you're in your Thinglink account, if I go back to my account, you can see that I've got folders at the top here. When you've got a school account or a district account, you can create folders, and I'll just do one as a test to show you. Call it test run. And where's it gone? Here. So this folder is empty at the moment, but if I go to settings, I can set that to private or my organization. Again, a bit like a Google Drive folder or something. And then I can also manage access, and I can add people in so that they're viewers or editors or admins. So you can have collaboration with your students. Or what you could do is you could give them that Thinglink or an image, and they could create their own Thinglinks if they had accounts. So they'd need an account for that. Or you could give them an image and some instructions and they could clone it. Now, wouldn't it be cool if you gave them an image of a water cycle with nothing tagged, and they had to tag it and show you, where the sunshine and the rain helped and those kinds of things, and the O2. I'm sure people have done that one lots and lots. I'm sure I've got it somewhere as well. Going back to my presentation. So, yeah, you can make your own icons as well. So in Thinglink, we give you about 300 different types of icons, but you can create your own. And here is Croydon High Street, where they have produced a 360 of the whole high street for the viewing public to see where the hand sanitization stations are. And they've got these. There's a really cool place that you can get icons for free called Flat Icon, and you can download them and then upload those into Thinglink as well and use those as your tags. I guess, coming to the end of my presentation now, and I'm really happy to do any more demos or anything like that. But for me, it's about, engaging learners in your context. What kinds of observational skills could you develop? What data can you obtain? So you could have a question about what people are seeing. You could do action research, for example. But I think, the most cases that I've seen used more recently have been 360 tours with pop-ups where I can show you where teachers are actually talking to kids and saying, we miss you and don't lose sight of your classroom, and this is what your classroom looks like. Because for some kids, not being able to see their classroom is really quite stressful, and actually going back into somewhere that you've forgotten what it looks like can be stressful as well. So they're using Thinglink to send a link of 360 of the classroom, and it's got the teacher on icons like you saw with Travis the dog, except it's the teacher saying, you know, take care of yourself, and, you know, we'll see you soon, you know, when you come back. And yes, very, very cool. So here's the places that you can go to for support. We've got our own help centre and support. We've got a Facebook Thinglink education page, which is full of great educators sharing content and ideas and asking questions. We've got a Twitter, which is Thinglink_edu, which is worth a follow. And then on our YouTube, which is youtube.com/Thinglink education, I've put a ton of webinars and how to videos there as well. I'm going to show you those nice ones that I mentioned with the 360 of the school. It's a school in Wales, and they did this last year. It's had over 10,500 views, and this is 360 image of the front of the school. You go in through the doors, go in through the doors again, hang a right. And then when you get into this classroom, you can see that it's got his tags in. And if I just click on this one here. It's in Welsh, but it's the teacher who's just done an iPhone clip of them with the filter. And she sings a song in Welsh, and she says, I miss you so, so much. And don't forget, we're going to be focusing on this week. And you just think, how great is that? Parents love this because it's all in one place. It's keeping the kids engaged. It's different. It's multimedia. And then you could, you know, have a hotspot that goes through to a choice board, you know, and it's all in one place as well. So I'm going to stop there because I probably bombarded you with information, and I'm really happy to take feedback, questions, or just general observations. I'd love to hear what you think.
That was really good, Louise. There's a question there, I know it's going back to Teams again, but Helen's asking, when on a call in Teams, how do I share my Thinglink on the screen while I'm talking about it? A bit like what you were doing there, but I guess that would just be a case of sharing your screen, essentially, and just using it as a live document almost. Yeah, absolutely. So when I'm in Teams, you just hit the share tray and you pick the application window and it would share. Sorry, when you said in Teams, I thought when you were in like a Teams channel, not a meeting. So yeah, you could just do it that way, just share your screen, or you could put it in the chat. So for example, I could take this, I'd hit the share button on this one, share the link, copy link, and then I could put that into our chat. Here you go. And that's the one that I've just shared with you. And you can do the same in Teams. So yeah, it's just as you would normally do for a VC. Perfect, thank you very much. And the Pre-5s are looking to do exactly what you showed us there, where they've got kids that haven't seen the room and are maybe desperate to kind of see inside the school. So that's really interesting. I'll be sharing that as soon as we go from there. That's absolutely brilliant. That's exactly what they were asking for last week, and to see it like that, I think they would really enjoy. So even those examples you have there, Louise, would it be okay to share some of those? Of course. So what you can also do with Thinglink is you can create collections. So I just created a collection called Welcome to Thinglink, and I can just pop that in to the chat so you can see all of my examples as well, and that's got all the ones that I've just shown you and more. There you go. There you go. Fantastic. You're welcome.
That's fab. Has anyone else, while we've got Louise with us today, any other questions or comments that you want to share? Everyone's away playing with it already.
If you want to ask about pricing, which I think you should, if you don't ask why something's free, then you should. So Thinglink provides free accounts for teachers, which is like an entry kind of play around type account, and it doesn't have a time limit. So you can go around and play with it. You can still share to pupils like I showed you. If you want a paid account, then I think the district is buying account, the council's buying an account, and it works out £1.50 per user per year. It's super, super cheap because it's heavily discounted for education, because we're an education company. But as you saw, we're used by big businesses for e-learning. And that's where kind of Thinglink makes their revenue. There's no adverts, there's no paywalls, there's no dodgy dealings with pupil data. It's GDPR compliant. That's what I mean. It's like, if sometimes you get EdTech tools that are free, they're free for a reason. And they're either free because they're from big businesses and big tech giants because they can afford to do that and they're trying to get you into the ecosystem for the long haul, or they're free because they've got adverts and they use your data for advertising. So Thinglink is either at the end of those spectrums. They have a genuine sound kind of pricing, which means it's last 10 years so far, and it's really sustainable. So yeah, it's free to start off with. If you don't have a district account and you just want a teacher account, it's $35 for a year, which works out, what, 29 quid, and you get the option to put in 60 students and they're part of your kind of mini school. But that means you're there kind of Billy No Mates with no other teachers. But with a district account, you're all friends, as it were. Not friends, but you know, you can create those folders and share. So for example, Mark Fulton, so you're not Mark, could share with Julie in a folder and they could collaborate. And you know, that means that you could do school plans, you could do so much more.
Just on the back of that, Louise, we are looking at an authority licence. I believe that's the way that they're looking to go. So it's something that we can get more information out to people in due course about that. But it's as if you could read Pam's mind. Could she literally just text me to remind me to ask about its subscription? So there you go. Yeah,
so if you've got a free account and the authority then does buy a district account, don't panic. Because what they can do is give you an invite code and you enter the invite code in, and then you and your account are part of the, you know, the Renfrewshire district account, and all your content will come over with you, so you won't lose anything. It's very, very slick. Yeah, and that's as much as I probably need to go over without bombarding you. Just lovely examples. The student-led examples just melt my heart. There's some on the link that I've given you to explore. And I think I might even have Pam's. Let me see if I've got Pam's one.
Pam was really proud of this. I remember when she got the original one drawn up, and then when she merged it with Thinglink, it was the next level. That was what she was loving it.
Let me just share it with you here. It is, so I was in Cochrane Castle and I saw this and I said to Pam, that would make an awesome Thinglink. So now, of course, you've got these hotspots and the pupils, here you go, can add in. The pupils can add in what they're meaning. And then, of course, you could share this with parents. And for parents who might only see that poster in a book or in the school, you know, it could bring it to life for them. And I think more than ever, you know, we need to make sure that young people's voices are heard. And I think that's a great way to do that. And I'm going to stop.
Thanks very much, Louise. That was great. Is there any more questions at all for Louise? Anything anyone else wants to ask? We're all very quiet.
Going away, that's why. No, well, I just want to say, you know, don't be a stranger. I'm on Twitter at Scotland Louise. Ping me, you know, follow me, share your ideas or whatever. Don't be a stranger. And when you're all up and running, maybe we can get back together and, you know, catch up with everyone and see what they've been doing. That'd be pretty cool. But I just hope everyone keeps well and healthy and happy. And, you know, I never fail to be amazed by, you know, what teachers come up with Thinglink. And it's kind of, well, it's what drives me to do what I'm doing as well. Because it's just great to see people inspired, you know, especially at the moment.
Amazing, Louise. I've certainly taken a lot from that today, and I think like a lot of people just now want to go and have a real good play around with it and really start to see what the potential could be for using with our young people. So thank you so much for your time today. It's really appreciated.
No problem. If you do create a free account, go to thinglink.com /edu and sign up as a teacher, not an e-learning account. Sometimes teachers do that by mistake, and it puts them onto a higher plan. So just go and create a free teacher account and start playing around with it.
Brilliant, thanks again, Louise. And we'll get this video on our YouTube channel as soon as we can, and people can share that a bit wider with their staff. It's great.
It's fab. Thanks for coming, everybody, and I hope you all have a lovely, relaxing evening tonight. Make sure you turn off those Google Classrooms and Teams notifications. All right, we hope to see you all soon.